announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Every day I die.
Back to the start, another try.
I got the time, so why shouldn't I? Every day I die.
Back to the start, another try.
I got the time, so why shouldn't I?
I've got too much time on my hands. Got too much time on my hands.
What up, y'all? It's the Jokerz Gallery right here on the Fago Lovers Network. Another episode of 5 Piece coming at you today. We've got a very interesting subject. December 2nd. What better time to talk about the second Joker card? Mike's wearing the hat. He's ready to talk about it. Before we get into that and before we get into some comments and feedback from some previous shows, I'll introduce the panel. Sitting right here beside me, you got the host of Speak It Clout Podcast, Mr. Mike Sears.
What is up? Your boy Mike Sears, Speak Clout Podcast. Goon's Gallery in this bitch.
And right below us, you got the Larry King of the Underground, Mr. Luke the Goon.
Yeah, we're breaking kayfabe here a little bit, so if you've never seen the clowns without their makeup, cover your eyes. They're flanking me right now.
That's one of the classic era pictures we always talk about, only being able to find a few. That's one I remember being able to find on like Angel Fire pages back in the day. And yeah. Shaggy's rocking a Ringmaster shirt under his button up. So like, man, we got to use that shit. That shit is dope.
Yeah, only like back then when you were looking it up on Angel Fire, it was like grainy and like you could like barely make out what they look like and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I even ran those through a few HDR filters to try to get them better so we could see them better. They're still pretty bad. I mean, they're like probably just taken with like a fucking disposable fucking film camera in like 1994. It's not like they had some professional photographer follow them around or anything, or they wouldn't have fucking let them. They'd have had their fucking paint on if they were doing that shit. Before we get into the Ringmaster talk, I had a lot of feedback from the previous show, the Thanksgiving special, the Good Vibes show. Had over 1.4 thousand views in the first couple of days. So shout out to everybody that peeped that out. You usually got to put some kind of headline that's Twisted said this about ICP or ICP said this about Twisted to get those kind of numbers. So shout out to all the juggalos that were literally good vibing out with us on Thanksgiving. And speaking of that, I have a couple comments that came in. Bearhead said he played Shiny Diamonds for his wife that night because Mike brought it up and said it brought a tear to her eye. So definitely Bearhead and his wife was vibing out to that fucking Raining Diamonds Shangri-La era. Something that I noticed whenever I was watching the show is that all three of our number ones for the Good Vibes came from the Shangri-La era. Not all from that album, but all from that era, because I had the Juggalo chant, and then Mike had Shiny Diamonds, and then Luke had Thigh Unveiling. So I always talk about how magical that era was, and I didn't even notice it until I was watching. I was like, damn, they all three came from that. Speaking of the Juggalo chant, Romebone marked out that the Juggalo chant was on there. He said it was a classic he hadn't heard in years. And then I seen him on his Twitter trying to get somebody to hook him up with the high quality version of it right after the show. So we got Romebone listening to the Juggalo chant. I thought that was pretty funny. Not Supposed, another homie that watches, said he was smoking a joint, having a good time on Thanksgiving, time traveling with Goon's Clout Gallery with a big smile on his face, vibing out to some good times. So that's fucking dope that people were that into the songs we were picking. I watched it live, and it was a fun listen. I tried to play as much of the song as I could without playing the whole fucking song. So it was a pretty fun watch. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. Also, Mr. Slapnuts, who's one of the watchers that's always in the comments. He's always got dope top fives. I've told this motherfucker a couple times. I'm like, dude, you always got top fives that are different from us. Come on the show. So Mr. Slapnuts, you got to jump on the show. His number one was Dark Lotus, Garden of Evil. Number 2, Escape Artist. Number 3, $50. Number 4, Jay, My Best Friend. And number 5, Little Yellow Bus. So one's just totally different from all of us and pretty good songs. So I wanted to get those shouted out. Echo Side Fiend said whenever we were talking about the Survivor Series being a Thanksgiving tradition, it reminded him of saving up his allowance every week for like 6 weeks so he could watch the Undertaker debut whenever the Undertaker debuted at Survivor Series like 88 or whenever it was. So yeah. A lot of nostalgia coming up and shit whenever people was watching all that. That was super dope. There's people that was that into it. So shout out to everybody that left a comment. I wanted to give them some love because there was a lot of good positive vibes coming through there, and that was dope to see. So I wanted to give that a shout out before we rank the top 5 tracks of the Ringmaster, the second Jokerz card. Mike's rocking the hat. It's December 2nd. It's time to rank the Ringmaster's top 5 tracks. Before we get into it, we always talk about the first memories we have with the card. It was out 4 years before I had discovered ICP, so I don't remember like any kind of release day or anything like that, or waiting for anything to come out through the air. What I remember of it is it was the 3rd Joker card I got, because I went Malenko, Riddle Box, Tunnel of Love, and then Ringmaster. So it was the 3rd one I got, and I immediately liked it. As soon as it comes on, you got fucking Murder Go Round. And after coming off hearing Riddle Box, I was almost listening to it in reverse. Well, I was listening to it in reverse. So seeing them almost go from what they were with Malenko, and then see it, and then go backwards and see them go into a more gangsta sound, and being a fan of gangsta rap since 1991, like I am, I immediately liked that shit too. So it drew me right in that they were more gangsta on this album. So that's what I always think of. It's right before they went full on carnival. They still had some inner city posse in them on this fucking album. And I dug the fuck out of it because of it.
Oh yeah, love gangbangers, and we hope the love is back. that whole era, man. But yeah, like you said, man, it was out already by the time I got down. So I had it on a fucking dubbed cassette from my boy Steven Oliveira. Shout out to you wherever you at, man. And like I said, when I seen him on ECW Hardcore Heaven the next day, I was chilling with his little brother, and he was singing the Loons. You know, I'm on that cutter, I'm 1 block away. Little 10-year-old kid saying that shit was wild, right? What the fuck is that? It's like ICP. I thought they were a tag team, like I mentioned plenty of times before. But you know, I only seen in the record stores at the time Mutilation Mix, Malenko, Forgotten Freshness, and Riddle Box. That's all you would see, you know. 98, they repressed the Sideshows and Carnival and Ringmaster. So I didn't get Ringmaster, like real Ringmaster copy, until 1998. The island pressing with the gold foil and all that. It was the first time I got that album, and it's one of my favorite cards, period. I worship this record. Hands down, bro. We'll get into the top 5 later on. I'll gush over it, but that's my introduction to Ringmaster.
Yeah. Mine was I've already, you know, we've talked about this before. I was down in 96. Riddle Box was the first card that I picked up, and I honestly don't remember because the way that I think all the time is I probably picked up Carnival of Carnage first because I knew it was the first one. And then I probably picked up Ringmaster as the second one. But yeah, and I had back then I was still picking up cassettes at that point because it was the easiest thing to just throw it in a Walkman and fucking go. And I had the gold foil Ringmaster cassette tape.
Those were so dope, man.
Yeah. And back then I had like a paper route. And that's what I associate Ringmaster with the most is waking up in the morning, getting the papers, and then going on my paper route with Ringmaster, playing Ringmaster, listening to Ringmaster. So that's like all the cards I tie to like a particular moment, particular thing I was doing. And Ringmaster for me is always driving down that or riding my bike down the road to go deliver newspapers all the time. But like Brandon said, like for me, this is like the perfect meld of when they were doing like their more gangster shit and they were doing the more clown shit. They both come together so well on this one, and they have tracks that like encapsulate both sides of them. It's like the yin and the yang, you know, the forks up, forks down. So yeah, I mean Ringmaster, and growing up, this was my favorite card growing up, more than any of the other cards. And then over time that's changed a little bit, but growing up, Ringmaster was my number one.
And then even by Terror Wheel, they've kind of almost fully converted to the clown stuff more than the gangsta stuff in between Riddle Box coming out. So I think Ringmaster, like you said, I think that's the epitome of them doing the fucking gangsta shit at the best, the highest level. It's funny you talk about remembering Ringmaster for doing the Paperboy shit at the time. As soon as you said that, it sparked the memory of I was working at Kmart whenever Bizarre Bazaar and Freak Show came out, and it was, you know, of course they came out in October, so this is like you know, like Christmas season like it is now, and I volunteered to do all the outside when it was cold as fuck, and everybody was always like didn't want to do it. You had to, like, you know, it was like you know, the you had to draw straws or whatever. And I always volunteered because I had Bizarre, and Freak Show to listen to in my fucking Walkman. And as soon as you said that, that's what I remember is fucking going and collecting fucking Kmart carts for hours at a time, just jamming out to that fucking music, sneaking in a joint every once in a while. That was good ass times, man. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and get into our top 5 since we talked about the Ringmaster. At my 5 spot, it's gonna be Who Asked You.
Wicked times, wicked times, wicked times, wicked times, wicked times, wicked times. Drink my last, drop a dead body scoop. Paint my face, creep up and say boo. Nobody knows what I'm about. Walk around town with my guts hanging out. Chewing on toes, fucking dead hoes. Bark at the moon every time the wind blows. Why do I do the things that I do? Who are you? Fuck you and fuck Jerry Lou too. Fuck your mother at the Motel 8. Fingers in a booty, strawberry shake. Daddy walks in and see the sick clown moving his butt cheeks up and down. Make the Mac and jump steady. Rude boy Regis, Kathy Lee. I make rap rhymes and make quick bucks, and everybody sucks my nuts. Shucks. Fuck Jazzy Jeff, fuck Jack Jones, fuck Jazzy Jack Jeff, Jimmy Jack Bones. Why do we do the things that we do? Who the motherfucker asked you? Why do we do the things that we do? Roses ain't red and violence ain't blue. Why do we do the things that we do? Wicked rhyme, wicked times, you do. Why do we do the things that we do? Roses ain't red and violence ain't blue. Why do we do the things that we do? Wicked rhyme, wicked times, you do. Never had life, always been dead. Got a metal plates in the back of my head. Lemon drops, lick lollipops. I fuck redneck bitches at truck stops. Clown killers, much clown love. Found a body in my bathtub. Grab. Fuck the police, fuck giving props. Fuck cop, pork chop, jiffy pop cops. Grew another head and I had it lopped off, but we still cool. What's up? What's up, dog? Talk ticky tock, I pack a pink block. My ding-a-ling swings when I run down the block. No, I don't sing in a rock band. Gotta smoke, dude. What's up, man? Fuck John Wayne, fuck Wayne Newton, fuck Juice Newton, John Hooten, Eddie Putin. Why do we do the things that we do? Now who the fuck asked you, bitch?
Wicked claims, wicked claims, wicked claims, wicked claims. Like that's just is so fucking dope, man. And then like Violent J's rapping, he's like, Daddy walks in and see the sick clown moving his butt cheek up and down. Nathan Mack and jump steady. Rude boy Regis, Kathy Lee. Like they're just so good, man. Violent J. Peak of Violent J just being able to fucking just flow like that, man. I love that fucking song so much. So I got to put it at the 5 spot. And it's totally different from like the rest of them. It almost stands out to me. It's almost like it would have been a good single. It's so different from everything else, but I wanted to get it represented. So I put it at the 5 spot.
Fuck your mother at the Motel 8. Fingers in a booty, strawberry shake. Come on, dog.
So good.
Yep.
Classic. All right, go ahead.
That's where you see, like we were talking about, gangster rap Violent J and Wicked Clown Violent J kind of intermingling and mixing right there perfectly on that song. So I wanted to get it listed.
Hell yeah, brother. My 5 spot going to Mr. Johnson's head.
Hello, class. My name's Mr. Felcher.
Dude,
Mr. Johnson seems to be out today with the virus, so I'll be your substitute teacher this afternoon.
Dude, I don't know.
Now, children, I don't want any shenanigans or horseplay. There'll be no gum chewing, and please raise your hand if you wish to speak. If any of these rules are broken, I'll write your name down, and Mr. Johnson will punish you as he sees fit.
Sitting in my class with my head on my desk. Teacher's trying to talk, but I could give a fuck less. I'm staring at the freak that I know I'm in love with, but she don't even know my name. It's always been the same. I just lay my head down and drown in my spit. Nobody even notices I'm here, cause I ain't shit. I'm hearing voices, but I don't know what they saying. Sweat is on my forehead, cause my brain's inside decaying. And this bitch that I love probably don't have no idea. She's talking to her friends, I'm in the corner and I see her. Something's happening, but it isn't very clear. Sounds like a bell, sounds like an electric chair. Next thing you know, I'm walking in a crowded hall. So many different faces that I throw up on the wall. Some are yelling sick and the others stop and stare, but I don't care. I'm in a hurry going nowhere.
Got that racist bigot. He just want to cut his motherfucking head off in the bag. You know, he had a fucking Confederate flag in the classroom and shit. I just love that song, man. I can relate to that shit too. Like, still got a couple of food stamps folded in my sock. You know? And back in the hood, he was embarrassed to, niggas see you with food stamps. But hey, fuck it. You know, got to get by somehow. But yeah, I love that song. Classic. A lot of people say that like the Forgotten Freshness one better, but I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards this one, the album version. Yeah, Mr. Johnson's Head, man, classic. Love that shit, man.
All you need to know how good that song is it got released as a Hollow Wicked single.
Yeah.
Remixed and re-released as a Hollow Wicked single. If it's not a good track, especially in them early days, bad, it wasn't coming out as a Hollow Wicked single, but it did. So they definitely like it if it came out as a Hollow Wicked single as a remix.
You suck my nuts and the wooden teeth fall out. Yeah, that shit's hard, bro.
And like, who hadn't imagined like killing their teacher whenever they're in fucking school?
Yeah.
The one that always just picks on you for no reason, just because they don't like you, not because you're like a dick or anything like that. They just pick out them kids they don't like at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
7th grade, I'll never forget this woodworking class. Mr. Lewinsky, this Polish dude. He picked
Fuck
on
you, Mr. Lewinsky.
Yeah. Only nigga you picked on was me, bro. The only he's fucking with me all the time, like making me sweep the fucking floor and shit. And I had Mr. Johnson's head in my head thinking about that motherfucker, bro. Cut that nigga head off in my book bag.
Yeah.
Looking at your book bag like, whatever my head would fit this
He was
motherfucker.
a creepy ass nigga because he was all nice to the bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. We all had teachers like that, bro. We all had teachers that were like little suave motherfuckers.
And I was
he's trying to get himself over with the fuck teenage fucking girls by fucking dissing Mike.
Yeah. That's the only teacher I ever like legit hated. That motherfucker. Facts.
Gosh.
Mr. Winsky's head's chilling in my book bag.
And I'd say Violent J or Shaggy probably has a story like that inspired this song.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I had to tell that story.
Yes.
I was always big. Like I was like 6 feet by the time I was in fucking 7th grade. So teachers didn't really fuck with me too much. I was usually bigger than they were.
All right, my number 5 is I imagine this is probably gonna be on somebody else's list. It's Wagon Wagon.
If I'm gonna die, I'm going out riding the wagon. Here it comes, the horrifying midnight wagon, sagging, lagging, dead bodies dragging on a piece of string. They flop around and fling. Now shut your ass up and let the juggalo sing. It's the insane clown posse coming through, looking for the hickeys and the prickies and your ass too. Everybody gets a ride in the ghost car. Don't matter who you are, we going straight to hell and it ain't far, Mr. Nevers. You seem to be the killjoy, so get your ass in, fat boy. You can sit up in the front with the ringmaster, with the ring-a-ding-ding-a-ling-a-ping-master, and get your motherfucking windpipe chopped off, and your funky ass body gets dropped off. In the gutter, the wheels keep rolling, throwing heads out the back, nugget bullet from the wagon. Wagon, dead bodies dragging. I ain't down with the clown, make clown love, brother. Wagon, wagon, dead bodies dragging. Every dead fuck in the city comes a brother. Wagon, wagon, dead bodies dragging. In the Mac truck, steady and good boy, brother. Wagon, wagon, dead bodies dragging. Don't miss your chance. The exhaust pipe is dripping out of deli fire. I found an old dead corpse in the trunk next to the spare tire, and it's muffling the sounds. Throw the bitch out, now the funk pounds. Yo, some say it's just a hearse, but it's much worse. It's an old dark bucket with the clown curse. Long, dark, very spooky, scary. I drink an old 40 bottle full of Bloody Mary. Why? Cause I'm Violent J, sick in the nug bone. I make strange sounds, clowns with clowns. Break it on down, break it up till the break of dawn. Look out your window, it's the wagon in your front lawn. Ah, boom, a boom, kaboom, bah. We do the dance of death until you get into the car, and then I pull your tongue out and slap you in the face with it. Say the Joker did it in the wagon.
This is the thing, like through this whole album, really, because I'm gonna talk about this probably quite a bit throughout my list.
Yeah.
Is Mike E. Clark's beats on this shit are fucking like they're weird. They're like he takes shit where like I'm sure Jay heard the beats and was like, the fuck is this? And was like, all right, I can swerve this. You know what I'm saying? Because like wagon, there's like that wah, 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 in the background, and there's like all kinds of like weird ass noises when you listen. There's like a laughing noise, like ha, ha. It's a weird, all kinds of weird fucking shit. And this and like in this song, like throughout the whole album, there's a bunch of those weird noises and shit that Mikey Clark somehow like fucking finagled into these beats.
The bass was played live. That helped with that a lot. So he was able to play whatever he needed to match up with that Violent J line or whatever. The bass was live, recorded from this album, so that really helps it stand out.
Yeah. But yeah, Wagon, Dead Bodies Dragon. You can sit up front with the Ringmaster, with the ring-a-ling-a-ding-a-ling-a-ping master. So fucking dope. I love that fucking song. It's got that sing-along verse and shit. So dope.
That's funny. Whenever you just said that line, I was looking at like Christmas decorations and shit, and they make the Grinch blow up thing to where he can sit in your car beside you. How dope would it be if ICP put out a Ringmaster so the Ringmaster could actually fucking chill beside you in the wagon? That'd be dope as shit, man.
Yeah, blow him up.
Hell yeah. That'd be fresh as shit. Be way fresher than the Grinch. Ringmaster just sitting there doing the forks up, forks down shit, chilling with you. That'd be dope as shit. Moving up to my 4 spot, where Shaggy 2 Dope fucking stands out with that ignorant shit. Get off me, dog.
Yo, hey, 2 Dope, man. Check this out, man. You know what the word on the streets is, dog? The word on the streets is that you a bitch. What's up with that, man? Motherfucker tweak, gotta tweak, why you tweak? Dale gosh, willikers, me oh my oh me, get off me, dog, before I sting your chin. I let my nutsack flap in the wind, cause I'm too dope, clown love OG, and it's 1 chop, 2 point, boom, chop, 3 in the melon, in the back of the melon, 1 black, 2 black, eyeball swelling, always backwards thinking backwards, Lord oh Lordy, sipping on the blunt, puffing on the 40 audio, see, motherfuck me, fuck Stuart Frankie, they call me Jelly Jello Boy, cause my nutsack jiggles, and when it's cold out, my nutsack shrivels, and crawls up my booty hole warm and snug, and gets chased out by the booty hole bug. God damn, I ain't who I am, I'm always fucking big fat bitches named Pam, 19 years of breathing smog, got me mental, so get off me, dog. Get off me, dog.
Too dope. The word on the street. The word on the street is use a bitch. Get off me, dog, before I sting your chin and let my nutsack flap in the wind. Like, it's just classic ignorant shit Shaggy. That's like a classic fucking trademark of Insane Clown Posse. I think that was one of our biggest disappointments when we were listening to Yum Yum Bedlam, is there wasn't one of these fucking ignorant fucking Shaggy solos that fucking really put you under that Joker card fucking mood.
Love that shit, man.
So I gotta put Shags and it's fucking Get Off Me Dog in my 4 spot.
My 4 spot, Southwest Song.
Factory smoke and choke in pain, cause Delray funk is in my brain. So I break the law, but I'm not to blame. You only know my place, you don't know my name. Well, I grip the fence and I bend the steel, and I steal the car and I grip the wheel, and I park the car and I steal it again, cause I really don't know what's happening. I wait for night to fall and then I walk outside, and then I run back in cause I don't wanna die. You see the air alone, it can corrupt your brain. It smoke fills the sky enough to fly look now, but there we go again. It's me and the Grim Reaper, best of friends. He's always hanging around, waiting for me to die. We shot a game of pool, he's not a bad guy. I feel I'm in the corner of a circled room at about 13 in the afternoon, and then I see the strain as I walk along. I notice everybody singing that Southwest song.
Come on, man. Fire, man. That's Southwest to Detroit. You know, that's gangster shit. That's like where fucking the BMF boys grew up, man. You know, Big Meech and them dudes. So, yeah, I love that song, man. Classic. That beat, too. Like Luke said, Mikey Clark's production on this record is just weird and, like, but it works, you know? So, yeah, Southwest song, man. Not much to say.
I used to change the lyrics to that song to Southeast because I went to high school called Southeast High School.
Yeah.
So I would do Southeast song.
Yeah.
It's also like a Wizard of Oz thing where like like they use that shit.
And the rhyme scheme that Shaggy and Jay are using, I love that shit. You know, great song. Number 4.
I'll go ahead and jump in. It's at my 3 spot, and literally everything I had written down, Mike just said. I said the way they split the verse by trading back and forth, it fucking makes that shit stand out. It always reminds me of like Run DMC, that old school fucking rap. So like it always stands out when they do that shit, and that's what Jay was wanting to do with the Looney Goons. He was wanting the whole album to be where like, you know, the rappers trade back and forth throughout the verses, and Southwest Song is one they did. Also had Laid Back track. Really good track, Smoke Weed too, and then legit in my notes I have the like that shit's just fucking it's infectious, man. You're singing along with it by the second time you hear it. So had to get Southwest Song since we were talking about it already. I'll go ahead and jump in. It's at my 3 spot.
Oh yeah, brother.
Cool. Yeah, so we're still at number 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, yeah. My number 4 is I think it's the shortest song on the album. For the Maggots.
One for the maggots, punk gets light. Every time his crew gets into a fight. If I somehow get stomped and kicked, I'm coming for your ass with an ice pick. Brick. 1 for the maggots, 2 for the bitch, 3 for the brick that smacks your lips. Cause you so sneaky, creepy hoe. So don't fuck around no more. Yo, 1 for the maggots, weak ass pets who sell out they boys for a bitch they just met. And then try to come crawling back. Bitch, you can juggle my nutsack. 1 for the maggots, punk, fuck you. Trying to be like everybody that you ever knew. Trying to be somebody that you're not. Bitch, that's how you get shot and left for the maggots.
Get myself into situations like this anyway.
Be careful, old boy.
I get myself into situations like this anyway.
Be careful, old boy.
I get myself into situations like this anyway.
Be careful, old boy.
I get myself into situations like this anyway.
Be careful, old boy.
I get myself into situations like this anyway.
Be careful, old boy.
I get myself into situations like this anyway.
Be careful, old boy.
I get myself into situations like this anyway.
Be careful, old boy.
I get myself into situations like this anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah, I fucking love everything about this song. It's super short, but it's dope as hell. Like if I somehow get stomped and kicked, I'm coming for your ass with an ice pick. Prick. So many lines like that. So dope. Shaggy and Jay like both tag team in the song, and then at the end they've got like that sample that keeps playing and shit. It's really only less than 2 minutes long of a song, but it goes so hard. So dope. One of my favorites.
Man, it gets fuck you about just shouting out on your boys and shit, you know?
Yeah.
I love that fucking song, dog.
A lot of people say that ICP are ahead of their time now whenever they look at how like rap has changed so much and anything's accepted. That was ICP being ahead of the time by making a super short track, but it's so fucking good in height that you remember it. And that's what rappers do today.
Yeah.
And like people are just catching up to fucking what ICP was doing in the early 90s and calling it like a new style of rap. And they were doing that shit fucking on Ringmaster and doing it really fucking good. I already said my 3 spots, so we'll go over to Mike for his 3 spot.
Number 3 for me, House of Mirrors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the House of Mirrors, for just one bit, venture through this wonderful exhibit. See yourself in all the weird shapes and sizes. You, young man, would you like to go into the House of Mirrors? Well, okay. Have a good time, son, and good luck finding your way out.
Wait a minute. I don't like it in here. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah. Let me out of here. There's dead bodies in here. There's dead bodies in here. I don't like it in here.
Step inside, come my way. This here is your fatal day. You have lied, they have cried. Now your life has been denied. Look into the big mirror. Your reflection is so clear. Devil's head, rotting flesh, with the snakes inside your chest. In the mirror you can't hide. You've been granted Jacob's ride. Whipping fear, spinning pain. All your crying is in vain. You're the beast you never knew. This reflects the things you do. Others starving down the block. Richie's heart is like a rock. How can I make a law? I'm just here to break your jaw. House of glass, down and up. You might get your ass cut. Mirror of life, mirror of pain. Death I wave my magic cane. Your last words are those of fear, but they go unheard in the house of
Around the wall, who's the wickedest of all? 3 blind mice, deepest fear. Welcome to the house of mirrors. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the wickedest of all? 3 blind mice, deepest fear. Welcome to the house of mirrors.
magic wine, magic mirror. Timeless clock says death is near. Death is here, death is on. My king bishop takes your pawn. You can't break House of Mirrors. That's bad luck for 7 years. Only in my wicked realm of the untold. Now I fold, thinking back what you do. Buy a Richie home or 2. Even though some down and out, you keep what you could live without. You're the beast you never knew. This reflects the things you do. Others starving down the block. Richie's heart is like a rock. First I grab, then I stab. Cut you up into a slab. Grind and twist, flick my wrist. Toss you in the magic mist.
Man, that shit is banging. 3 blind mice, your worst fit. Oh man. I mean, Capital E was like, yo, Violent J. Just like, what? Slam that head against the wall. That shit is fire. Absolutely adore House of Mirrors, bro. Had to make the list, man. Just banging. And Ringmaster's like good sound quality too. I love the way the record sounds, and House of Mirrors is a definitely example of that, man. That shit is fire. Love it.
We always talk about world building and how they world build with all these albums, and that's one of the things that you hear referenced in other songs is the House of Mirrors.
Yep.
So that's another song that like built on to the Dark Carnival lure, and I always dig those songs. I always thought it would be dope if they released a compilation of all the like things that related to the Dark Carnival, things like that, and the Tilt-A-Whirl, just all the shit you'd see at the Dark Carnival, because they were talking about doing compilations there for a while, and I was like, the best comedy songs don't really sound like a good idea. Make all the ones that like build up the lure of the Dark Carnival, because those are the ones I really always dig. It gives you the picture of them in your head when you're listening to them.
Fucking torturing of bigots and shit. Like, man, y'all worship that song, bro. Fire. House of Mirrors is my number 3.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, brother.
All right. My number 3 is My Funhouse.
Car broke down on a drive through the ghetto. All the weird people, they gotta get the fuck out. Need to use the phone? Step into my fun house. Hey yo, dope, looks like we got another. He'd like to go for a ride on the net cutter. Straight to the curtain for the death spectacular.
the intro is really fucking hilarious with like the copper, and he's like, "Have you tried fondling her breasts?" Oh no, I haven't. I'll give it a try.
I want to know where that was inspired by or came from.
I don't know. And then we got Willoughby Rags at the end talking shit like he always does, the best way. And then I love Jay's flow on this fucking song. It's just, and then I think this is the song where like literally the beat is a door creaking shut, which is like fucking crazy to me. It's just like it's so fucking weird. Like we're saying about Mikey Clark, like just doing weird off the wall shit on this and like it working somehow. I don't know. It's weird. But that's why Mikey Clark has the ears and I don't. Yeah, fire song. Fucking love it. This is like their pure like clown shit right here. This is like nothing gangster about it other than killing motherfuckers. But yeah, this is just them clowning and shit. It's fucking great.
That amazing Rage Against the Machine Bullet in the Head sample.
Yeah.
This is fire, bro.
And we keep talking about how good Mikey Clark's production was on this album. This was the album that he had time to think about shit. And Carnival of Carnage, he kind of jumped on mid-ship. Like they were using other people to make the beats from scratch, and then they found Mikey Clark who could do it for like 4 times faster and half the price of what they were paying that Snake guy. And so he just jumped on in the middle of a project, and then he had like a year and a half, 2 years to think about what he was going to make this next record sound like. And you could tell, man, this production just stands out.
Yes. These are my top 20 producers of all time. Because I listen to a lot of hip hop, so yeah. Over him, well, he's up there.
I was expecting something higher. He's like top 20. Like, oh, okay. Oh, what's it up?
Yeah. Mike owns like 40,000 CDs, so he knows quite a few artists.
I just don't listen to juggalo shit like a lot of people. I'm bad, but he's up there.
Oh yeah. And then it's got classic Shaggy just screaming at the fucking top of his lungs, screaming about rich ass bitch ass boys that getting their neck cut and shit. Fucking, this is classic ICP right here, bro.
Top tier shit.
Yeah. Top
shelf ICP.
Yeah.
Speaking of top shelf, moving into the top 2 songs already been talked about. Wagon. It's got to be on the countdown for me because me and my cousin, we were like both getting into ICP at the same time. The dude I was talking about that painted up to go buy Jekyll Brothers with me, and we named his whip, his Grand Am. It was called the Wagon. And then every time we got in it, as soon as we got in it, the wagon would play first. You know, if I'm gonna die, I'm going out riding the wagon. And that would just set the fucking like mindset for the evening like that.
That's so perfect.
The lyrics are super dope. It becomes the horrifying midnight wagon, sagging, lagging, dead bodies dragging on a piece of string. They flop around and fling. Shut your ass up and let the juggalos sing. Fucking Jay is just flowing so well on this album, and like I said, I think a bunch of juggalos probably named their whip the Wagon after hearing this one, including my cousin. Whenever he come pick me up back in the day, the Wagon would get played because if we were going out, we were going to go out riding the wagon. So it's at my 2 spot.
Nothing more dope than having a juggalo in your family. I can relate. My uncle, it's fucking fresh, man.
Your uncle, every time where he bring up something, he knows like he adds shit whenever we ain't on live or nothing. He'll be adding like his shit. It's like, man, jump on the fucking show, man. You know as much as we do. It's like, no, I'm shy.
Yeah, he's not shy. Yeah. I don't forget when he was rocking a Hollow Wicked 06 shirt. I'm like, I was high as hell that day. I'm like, yeah, my uncle's a juggalo too, but of course he is. He got a fucking Hollow Wicked shirt on.
Yes.
From fucking 15 years ago, hey, like you buy that shit at Walmart.
That was a lie. All right, number 2. All right, number 2 for me, Murder Go Round.
Oh, mine as well.
What can I say, man? I hit him with the brick. Just a little prick. Him and his chick. Try to be slick, but you ain't no slink. Do you brink? Do you think? Do you suck my Twinkie? I don't give a fuck if you call me a clown. Break it on down. It's Murder Go Round. What you dishing out, I catch it comes back to ya. If you're trying to creep, I hate to say I never knew ya. Once upon a time in a ghetto zone, a 10-foot lead pipe slapped up my dome. I'm laying in the street with blood oozing out my head.
Excuse me, motherfucker, was it something I said?
Forks up, forks down, man, forks sideways.
Then he grabbed my finger when he said,
Crime pays.
swung on his plate once again for the road.
Hold off, dog.
This shit gets old. Now I walk the streets with a shattered skull. I'm gonna swing my axe through his jaw.
What a motherfucker act, what a motherfucking say.
How you gonna fuck with the juggalo? There he sat, so I knocked on the door. Pops opened up, pops hit the floor. Then I chop, pops twice in his nugget.
But he didn't do shit.
Fuck it, it's the murder go round. Well, it's me in my mellow rolling military. Gangbangers, big bang theory, kinda scary. Tags up all on the bricks. Latin count, X-Men, CFP, and all that
We
shit.
love gangbangers and we hope they love us back. We're just some wicked clowns and it's been like that. I don't understand why some people in town. We went nationwide and still Southwest down.
But this motherfucker gonna try and clown me. But I'm the juggalo local road G. Took a shot and he missed. Too dope, hit the dust.
Why? I ain't got shot,
So now you must take your ticket for the murder go round. Can't nobody kill a clown. Seen him and his boys smoking blunt in a bucket. Pulled out the dagger, creeped up, and I stuck it into his head, into his boy's head, into his boy's head, his boy's head, his boy's head. 5 dead fucks in the trunk, I deliver. Push that old piece of shit in the river. Cat my boy, so 5 go down, and you get a free ride. On the murder go round.
Shit is hard, man. You know
Oh,
what
no.
can I say, man? I hit it with a brick. This shit's hard, man. You
Shit.
know. Too dope hit the dust. I ain't got shot, bitch. I love that shit, man.
But now you must
Yeah, shit.
Shit
take
is
your
hard.
ticket for the murder go round.
Love gangbangers, and we hope they love us back. That shit is hard, man.
I love the intro too.
Oh hell yeah, fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hard. Murder go around. How you gonna fuck with the wicked clown? The chorus is banging, man. The beats.
And like we
Everything
talked about,
about it.
that Mikey Clark production, man, is beautiful on this fucking song. Like he found just the right fucking sounds to make it sound like gangster and a carnival at the same time. It's my number one, so since it's y'all's two, let's go ahead and jump in.
There we go.
Like I said, whenever I first listened to Ringmaster, turned that motherfucker on, the intro played, and fucking Murder Go Around played, and I was like, well, I'm good. I'm gonna like the rest of this album. We
Yeah.
talked about it. This was not streaming days. This was 98. So committing like $15 was like 3 weeks of allowance back then for me. So you were always worried and sweating that if you bought an album, because you ain't gonna, where the fuck you gonna hear Ringmaster at without buying the motherfucker? So I
Yeah.
had no clue what it sounded like or anything. I just bought it on the the whim that fucking Malenko and Riddlebox was so good. It's like, this is the next one in the reverse order. So I'll buy that one. And fucking as soon as I heard Murder Go Around, I was like, I'm very comfortable with my investment.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it's my one. I figure I'd go ahead and jump in instead of waiting and going around.
Yeah.
Got off the Latin counts in there too, some Detroit street gang
Yeah.
shit. That's just hard, bro.
Yeah.
Love that song.
Yeah, so dope.
Yeah, great minds think alike, man.
Hell yeah. I was wondering because like Luke said, I hadn't heard it yet. And I was like, damn, maybe it's gonna be like Shockumentary where we all got it at number one. Damn near. So now I think it goes over to Mike for his one.
Yeah, the Mike's number one now.
I already mentioned twice, man. Wagon, bro. Oh my god, bro. You know, we don't do drive-bys in the wagon. Except we just get out, stab your
Slap
fucking
your
ass.
fucking ass.
When I roll the window down, you can smell the endo. That shit is hard. I love Wagon. Not much to say because my brother schooled it. You know what I'm saying? Wagon. My number one on Ringmaster, man. Immaculate song, amazing beat, dope lyrics, just amazing.
You talked about the line about the windows smell the endo. Like there wasn't a lot of fucking references on ICP music about weed. So to hear one, it was always super dope for me. So that's that. Whenever you brought that up, I was like, yeah, damn, I forgot about that because we was always smoking in there in my cousin's whip, and you roll the window down, fucking you smell the endo. So it was I forgot about that part.
In my little badass in 1980, I was smoking weed already at 13. So Yeah, man. Classic. Wagon, my number one.
All right. My number one. I mean, if you've watched any of our top tens,
I know what it is.
I know he already knows.
It's not on my. It wasn't on my list because I knew Luke would have it at one. I was like, I'll let him get this one.
If you've watched any of our shit, you already know it's the fucking Loons. Like my all-time favorite ICP song.
Little Miss Muffet, oh, she never had a clue of what the psychopathic wicked clown was finna do. Creeping through the backyards underneath the moon. Only 3 blocks away, they joke a loony tune. Listen to the loon, listen to the pain. Listen to the one they call the violent J insane. Watch me as I duck and I dash through the night. I can see the shadows of the moon in my butcher knife. Butcher knife. The world has created this monster. See me living with a dead body in a dumpster. Laughing in your castle, but I can't crush your moat. But then I take a boat and cut your fucking throat. Well, now I'm getting closer, so I crawl under a house. I'm waiting for the car to pass, and then I crawl back out. Another block down, just a little ways to go.
Hello?
I can hear the crickets and the creatures of the night. You can hear me drag my foot and scrape my butcher knife. I can hear the owl as it chirps a wicked tune. You can hear the loons, the loons, the loons. Listen to the little pitter patter on my feet as I howl like a dog and I'm running down the street. Hiding in the trees, hiding in the bushes. You're sitting on your couch and I'm underneath your cushions. Stab you in the back of the head, why not? Your little governor is taking everything I got. I can't feed a family, I can't feed a dog. So I cut your fucking head off. Hey, wiki jokers, and you know we show and prove. Jumping over rooftops, juggle like a move. Tell me, have you ever seen a ghetto freak show?
Hello?
It's this pure wicked shit with a tiny bit of social commentary in there, which I think was a little bit dripped over from Beverly Hills. I can't feed a family, I can't feed a dog, so I cut your fucking head off.
Okay.
And then there's the I've always loved the line, and I've talked about it before, and I think Brandon or Mike hadn't caught it, where he's like, the Grim Reaper always stays on me because I'm always leaving dead bodies. I can see him standing at the end of the block because somebody's clock is running out of talk. And it's him, because at the end of the song, he approaches the house and he gets shot. And so the Grim Reaper is actually not there for his victim. He's there for him, which I always thought was kind of cool.
Jay always does those dope little things at the end of songs that make you think like that. I mean, either like serious, like Abby's in the attic, or funny with the Eminem diss where he's fucking his mom. He's talking about fucking somebody's mom the whole time, and he's like, "Peace, Eminem." He flips that song on its head like that. He does it on Gangsta Codes on the new album. He's thinking he's at somebody's funeral, and then he fucking figures out it's him that everybody's looking at mourning. So yeah, that's a Violent J tactic that he still does to this day.
Yeah, fresh ass song. First song that Mike Sears ever fucking heard about ICP.
Yeah, the first time I knew they were rappers, man.
Yeah, pure wicked shit. Favorite ICP song of all time, so it's got to be my number one Ringmaster song.
Yeah, when I was writing my list, I was like, Luke will have that at one, so I'm not even gonna bother putting it on my list. I know he'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So I had that on my honorable mentions. We'll go ahead and get into some honorable mentions. Most of them got named. Funhouse was on there. House of Mirrors. And then the one that didn't get mentioned was Love Song. I always just thought that shit was funny.
Like, bitch, I'm knocking at your door.
It's got that classic, like, old school Shaggy just yelling, "Let me get some natted hoe. If you're ugly, that's okay. I'm finna hit it anyway." It inspired a fucking sequel, another Love Song, single off of Jekyll Brothers. So I always dug that song. It's something totally different. That and Bugs on My Nugs is kind of Bugs
on My Nugs is on mine too. Well, I don't understand the phenomena. We fucking these hoes that look like blah, blah, blah. And then there's like that breakdown where fucking Jay just starts talking like crazy shit that I fucking love too.
Yeah.
I think those two songs are placed perfectly on the album too. It's like a little just break of the gangsta fucking Wicked Clown shit. You just laugh your ass off for a couple tracks.
Yeah.
So they're placed pretty perfect on the album. Anybody else have any honorable mention? I don't know if any song didn't get mentioned other than like the Dead one.
Yeah, the Dead one. Definitely the shit you just named.
Which was basically covered by Olazuli Lou on the Almighty.
Yeah. I mean, Chicken Hunting's on here, but it's like more of like the slower version.
The one video from the album was that old school Chicken Hunting. That's where it looks like whenever I went back and watched the Chicken Hunting video, whenever it was playing, whenever we did some videos show for 5 Piece, it looked like to me that Violent J and Shaggy's wearing the very similar things to what they're wearing in those pictures that are on the side of the screens right there in the original Chicken Hunting video as well. So I think that might be from that era. It might have been like, because it's probably homies that took that picture, and I know they brought a bunch of homies to that video shoot, so it might be from that actual video shoot. Violent J's definitely wearing a sock cap like that in that video.
Yeah, I mean, I like every track on this album. So, like, I mean, they could all be honorable mentions. You know what I'm saying? We brought up almost every track.
Yeah.
I mean, Ringmaster's Word, but Ringmaster's Word's not even a song, really. It's more just Mikey Clark scratching and shit.
Yeah.
It's dope, though. Yeah, I love that shit, man.
I think Get Off Me Dog is the only one we haven't mentioned.
I mentioned it. I have it on my list.
Did you? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, did you? Yeah. All right. Well, it's a fire fucking song, too. So, yeah, like,
I think
we got on here.
I think we pretty much named all of them. Before we get out of here, want to let everybody know what's going on with Luke the Goon and Mike Sears' Speaky Clout channel. I know Luke just dropped the Camp Zool review. Anybody thinking about going to the second one, which they're going to announce the date sometimes coming up, apparently, according to a Tuesday Night Terror. So keep your ears open. I don't think it's going to be in November this time. So if that's what kept you away from Camp Zool this time, and you're thinking about going, check out Luke's review, man, because you just get to see the whole grounds. You get to see the footage and everything like that.
Yeah, you plugged it, man. I don't.
And I'm not saying
I
my
went over
homie.
everything. I went over all the performances, all the events. I got footage laced in there as well. If you want to see like little tiny bits of the performances.
Got his merch pickups with a dope ass jacket.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that shit is fire.
yeah, the jacket was dope. It's a little long of a video, but it's in-depth review. So if you like Zool, if you're thinking about going to Camp Zool 2, check it out.
You can see Billy Obey try to get Joe Black to rub his butt on Luke the Goon.
Go real quick.
That happens.
So yeah, that's definitely worth checking out. I know on the Speak of Clout channel every Saturday got a new episode coming up, and also a couple things that me and Mike's done. We've done the best Star Wars figures and the best Galoob and Hasbro wrestling figures. If anybody's into that shit and you enjoy 5 Piece, it's basically us talking about shit like that. So let everybody know how they can find the Speak of Clout channel, Mike.
Okay, Speaky Clout Podcast happening. You'll find it 6 p.m. Eastern every Saturday, and check out exclusive episodes coming. Like, I'm thinking about doing a ranking of all the Ala Zulu albums, so look out for that.
Me and you're gonna do a Yum Yum Bedlam review as well. So if I think a lot of people
not gonna make Luke do that.
Yeah, Luke tapped out on that one. I think a lot of people liked watching the listening party, so at least me and Mike will be 2/3 of the listening party, and we'll review the album. But before we get out of here, also we got some shirts finally going up. Ordered them to make sure they were good quality before we started hawking them to anybody. So and they're really fucking good quality, man. I was impressed by them. You can find them. The link will be in the description of this, or you can find them at Jokerz Gallery. I got it linked on my Instagram and Twitter as well. We got hoodies that look like this. Got the ECW inspired Goon's Cloud Gallery logo with the 5 Piece logo. We got the NWO logo shirt. We got it in a fresh Kelly green for all the alternative kids with chain wallets. Sport that and look fresh. And we've also got them priced at pretty much the lowest they'll let you price. I don't care about making a fucking profit. The t-shirts are $19.99 and the hoodies like this, which is really good quality, $29.99. So if anybody wants those, you want to rock some Gookz Gallery gear, check that out. Made it as affordable as possible for anybody. I just think it would be dope to see people rocking the shit. I don't give a fuck about making $5 from the shirt. I want to see fucking juggalos rocking our shit. So I try to make it as affordable as possible for the holiday times. I know everybody's fucking getting milked right now for the holiday cash, so try to keep it $29.99 for hoodies, $19.99 for shirts, all the way from small to 5X on some of the shirts, multiple colors. So like I said, links in the description, hit those up if you want to. Until next time, I'm the Jokerz Gallery. This is 5-Piece, and we out.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Every day I die.
Back to the start, another try.
I got the time, so why shouldn't I? Every day I die.
Back to the start, another try.
I got the time, so why shouldn't I?
I've got too much time on my hands. Got too much time on my hands.